How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. And for those of you that are new, I'm Striker. Now, in this video, I'm going to do something a bit different where a year ago to date, I purchased my first Apple product, which was the M1 Mac Mini. And this was a huge deal for me because I'm a lifelong Windows user. But after doing all the research and seeing a lot of the performance gains with this fantastically efficient and powerful M1 chip, I had to look into it further. The cherry on the top was that this was $569 for the 8 gig 256 variant at Costco. And for those of you that have seen some of my other videos, I was running with a laptop plugged into the monitor. I had been researching for a few months to get a proper desktop setup. Now, the original content that I recorded was simply the unboxing, what comes inside of the M1 Mac Mini box, and the simple click-throughs to get you up and running. Since then, obviously it's been a year and I never released that content. So I'm going to combine it with my 1 year experience as a Windows user and also as an Apple user now, what the pros and the cons are, as well as if I recommend it or how it handles workloads. I myself am in finance, and in addition, I make 4K content on YouTube. So for some of you that are curious whether it can handle your workload and what the hiccups might be, I'm going to share some of those things very briefly, right? This isn't meant to be a professional tech review by any means. I know there are tons of content creators that go specifically into the details and specs and performance of this M1 Mac Mini base variant. So be sure to check those out if you do have more of those specific questions. As a content creator and an average reviewer, I'm going to share my experience with it and if it's worthwhile to upgrade to this or if you need any more power than what the base variant offers. With that said, the first part of this video is going to be the original content that I created a year ago, which is just going to be the unboxing and the setup. So that's going to be more ASMR style. And then after that, I'll be sharing my experience and even some of these upgrades I've made, like the webcam and the keyboard and how that works to this day. All right, let's get started. From the start, I really love how aesthetic this looks on a desk. And I was considering mounting this on the back or even doing some vertical stand like I have for my laptop. After considering it, it was probably going to be facing up with the ports on the back facing upward. So I didn't want dust to fall in and collect in there. So I left it as is. If you do notice, I just put it on a little box. So it kind of has a floating design. And another thing, you can kind of push it back so that it partly slides under your monitor there. I do have the Mac Mini paired to a curved Samsung 32-inch 4K monitor. It's been a pretty fantastic setup. The occasional issue that I would get is I would get this slight glitch that would come from the bottom. And if you check my channel out, I made a brief video on that. Now, the monitor has been fantastic with the occasional rare exceptions that it would kind of flicker from the bottom right of the monitor. For example, if I went to the screensaver on the previous OS version Apple had, it would kind of flicker from the bottom right. It wouldn't always occur, but it was something that really concerned me. So I went between the Type-C to DisplayPort connection, and I also went from the HDMI to USB-C connection. And ultimately, it still happened, so I kind of just let it go. Since the recent update to the new macOS version, it has went away, so that's not a concern anymore. One of the other things I would have liked to have seen is at least 1 or 2 Type-C connections on the side or the front. I know the Pro versions have the ports in the front, but I would have liked to seen it on this. Here I have a Type-C to Type-C, and I use this to plug my phone in to upload content onto the computer so I can edit. Looking here, I have a USB-A port extension. This gives me 4 more USB-A ports, and I have a mini flash drive there, and then all of these USB-A connections for my webcam, my light bar, and then this light ring. For my webcam, I'm running the Logitech Brio 4K. This is a flat light bar, and then I have this ring light. I have since upgraded my keyboard, which is the MX Keys Mini, and the mouse, which I really love. This is the MX Master 3. Originally, I bought the Logitech bundle from Costco, which is a great keyboard and a great mouse that comes with it. However, I would occasionally get a lag from the mouse and keyboard, and I wasn't a fan of it, so I ended up upgrading to these, which I've had on my mind. I really love the size of this. You can see there I can tuck it out of the way really quickly. I wanted a keyboard that was small enough that I can move out of the way quickly and gives me space to write without taking too much desk space. In terms of performance with this M1 8GB 256, I honestly think 99% of people don't need any more than this. Now, the storage is a real issue, right? Where a lot of people would like to have the 512 variant. I myself have run out of storage, but that's because I'm creating a lot of 4K content and those are massive files. In addition, when I was deleting the content, for some reason, so I use what's called VN Editor, and when I would delete them, it wouldn't truly go away, so it was filling up my memory, and after a few months, I was pretty much maxed out. So I contacted VN, and they showed me a way to delete it. So that was just a personal thing. But again, in terms of the average person that is surfing the internet, making occasional 1080p, even 4K content, I really honestly do not think you need more than this. For reference, I have the M2 MacBook Air. This has been upgraded to the 16GB and 512 version. And even when I'm creating content, they both perform almost identical. The reoccurring theme that I see is a lot of people don't really know what the performance specs even are and how it applies to their daily usage. So a lot of people that do have 10 tabs open or they're on YouTube or creating some simple content, they think they need the MacBook Pro spec'd out to $2,500 when you can have something like this for $569 doing everything you need and then more. So the only 2 hiccups I've seen in an entire year of creating content and pushing it is when I've made 4K content over about 25 minutes, I've seen a slight little glitch during my editing process and it went away after a half second. So rest assured this is way more than capable of handling 99% of people's tasks. Final verdict, the M1 Mac Mini punches way above its price. Now, there are some little things like Bluetooth connectivity. I notice if I go to the restroom, which isn't that far away, I can lose connectivity. But again, that's not a big deal. Now, in terms of what it does, being reliable, running everything smoothly, and having fantastic speed, this is a bargain. So those are my 2 cents as a lifelong Windows user. Do I like Windows? Absolutely. Are there some things in terms of the App Store and other things I would like to see more offerings? Yes. But what I use this for, this is way more than enough, and supplementing it with this new laptop as well, this is a fantastic setup. My apologies if I wasn't able to answer any detailed questions y'all might have in this video. Feel free to comment so we can have a conversation, like, subscribe, and that being said, have a great day, have a great evening, Striker out.